Spyro the Dragon. Upon hearing this title, you might be thinking to yourself, this is the kind of video where I say something like, Spyro is a series of platformer video games which primarily feature the protagonist Spyro the Dragon. Since the series' production in 1998, there have been many sequels, as well as the most recent where Spyro looks like some kind of pug-dragon hybrid and isn't even the main character in the game he appears in. But this video isn't about the history of Spyro, it's about a question, and that question is, who really is Spyro? So for this, we're going to have to rewind and start from the beginning. The Dragons are basically having some kind of interview for what I can assume is a documentary, and strangely enough, that seems to be a running trend in 3D platformers. So basically, they're talking about how they've locked away this guy named Nasty Nork and sort of bragging about it. Now, upon hearing this, Mr. Nork is admittedly pretty upset, and it makes sense because considering that the Dragons are making fun of him, and they've probably dubbed him as Nasty, which I'm pretty sure no one would be happy to be dubbed as. So what ends up happening is Nasty Nork casts a spell which turns all the dragons into crystal statues. Well, that is all but one. See, for whatever reason, Spyro isn't changed, and he almost instinctively goes out to hunt Nasty Nork down as well as killing all of his troops and rescuing all the frozen dragons in the process. Okay, so one thing you might have noticed by now is Spyro doesn't really look anything like any of these dragons that you're saving. Whereas those dragons are clearly bipedal, Spyro prefers to run on all fours. And another thing is, he's surprisingly easy to take down. This so-called dragon only takes a few hits and then he's out for the count, or if he touches water, he's gone. Listen, I'm far from any kind of dragon expert, but let's be honest here. Dragons are pretty much always intimidating, and they don't typically have a dragonfly following them around to keep them alive. So my dear viewers, that's why I'm here to tell you that after dozens of minutes of research, I can confidently say that Spyro is in fact a homunculus from the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and I can prove it to you. See, a homunculus is a rather small creature made of several components such as clay and ash. Like I said, the creature is relatively small and follows any order it's told. Sounds pretty similar to a dragon that we know who right away is hunting down Nork, while no other dragon seems to be doing anything. Not only that, but a homunculus has incredibly low HP at only 5 hit points, which also sounds like a rather weak creature that we also know. And yeah, I know what comes to mind. That guy in the book doesn't look anything like the purple dragon that we play as and know, but here's something to look at. Look at the newer version of Spyro. That weird pug face, that flat face, the wings, looks an awful lot like a different pug-faced creature that I just showed earlier, doesn't it? Not to mention that a homunculus doesn't really have a default look, they're shaped to look however, so if it's made by a bunch of dragons, you would think they would make their sleeper agent homunculus also look like a dragon so it doesn't rise suspicion. That way Nork would never know that he wouldn't be able to free Spyro. So, case closed. Spyro is actually a homunculus created by the dragons to protect them from any kind of catastrophe that would come their way. But that's just an assumption, a game assumption. Thanks for watching. So that's the end of video number 20, and that's pretty cool. I wanted to thank everybody who's a subscriber and made it to the end of this video. If you're not a subscriber, you can always subscribe. You can like it if you like it. You can dislike it if you dislike it. You know, the usual. And if you want to, you can be really cool and share it, or you don't have to. I'm not your boss, but thanks again for watching. It means a lot.